Hello everybody and welcome back to another Magic Arena video, where today we're going to be doing something a little bit different with the Midweek Magic Sealed event. I haven't done any sealed for Lorwyn Eclipsed, so might as well do the Midweek Magic Phantom version and we can get to experience it together. So let's head on into this and see what we can get and some exciting things. As it's a no stakes event, I might as well try and do something maybe a little bit adventurous if the packs offer that, but let's see what we kind of get and what we can create. Okay, we've got ourselves 8 the rares, 2 mythics, so a mirror form, each non-land permanent you control becomes a copy, which I have had played against me with the merfolks. So then I've got Harmonized Crescendo, which I had before, though again I'm not too fond of that one. I prefer the other Convoke draw. But again, maybe we've got a Merfolk, there's a Tristan, possibly Steam Vents, Soul Immolation as well, which I've had done for me a few times. So yeah, let's see what we can get. Maybe we can get a Merfolk deck or even some kind of elemental so that we can play with the mirror form. So what have we got going on? White is quite thin and we've only got 1 merfolk, so it doesn't look like we will be doing merfolk. We've got 1, 2, yes, maybe we can just have a look at merfolks anyway, but yeah, it doesn't look like we'll be doing merfolks. Maybe we can have a look at the elementals. Or elemental, I suppose, for searching. Okay, there's a couple of elementals. There's a Twin Flames Traveler. And honestly, not much else. So let's have a look at what we do have. It might end up just being a mixture of stuff. Black is got a removal, Twilight Diviner, doesn't really do anything. Red has got a Tweeze and Kindle the Inner Flame. Maybe there is any green elementals, there is not. Oh, this pack is pretty bad actually. There's not really much kind of synergy, so it does look like we might end up just having to do a mixture of things. So we might just have to do some 3 or 4 colours, I guess, Pummeler, so maybe some vivid stuff. That's really the only one there. Yeah, maybe it's just going to be looking like some Teamer elementals with a splashing of Vivid. So yeah, that kind of looks like maybe, again, the removal is pretty weak. In the removal, there's no Blossom Binds. So Blight, Rot, and Tweeze are literally the only removal that I have by the looks of things. I guess Soul Immolation, so yeah, I guess the red looks like it might have to be played because that's the only removal. So let's add in, I guess, the red. So the Soul Bright Seeker, I'm probably going to have to be pushing me towards the elementals, so I guess this does matter for Vivid, so it's, I guess, sort of removal. Burning Curiosity, Flame Rage, Flame Caster, Tweeze, Kindle, Soul Immolation, Zealot, Twin Flame Traveler, and there wasn't too much in the blue, was there? So maybe it's red green, maybe splashing some blue. Guess I can still maybe add in the early elementals for the Soulbright Seeker. But did have, I guess, a Foraging Wickamore, Changeling, and I might even need to possibly run the Rooftop Perches. Gangly is probably something I'm going to have to splash for. Again, maybe a Pummeler might be okay. And any green that I would want? I guess the Shimmerwild's Growth for the, if I wanted to add the Pummeler and also the Prodigy. Yeah, this the blue I don't think I would want. Again, I think maybe because it's a no stakes, I can probably try and run the mirror form as another Kindle the Inner Flame, though the mirror form kind of encourages you to go wide. But I might end up having to like run something like the Elder Auntie again as like more filler. Or if I want to splash some white for like Liminal Hold. Or maybe I have to even go for black for something like some removal like Blight's Rot. But I guess there is also Ryokin Recluse. That's another trigger with the Twin Flame Travelers. I guess that's also another elemental with land cycling. And maybe some cheap, because my curve is quite high, so maybe there's any cheap green creatures to consider. That's the Elf Matters. Honestly, the top end's, I guess, okay, but I guess adding some green and then the Shimmerwild's Growth gives something to do early on to try and ramp. I guess there's a blue card here, which doesn't necessarily mean you have to be with Merfolk. Though it is a 5-drop, so yeah, let me just look at the 2-drops first. I might have to just run something like an Unwelcome Sprite as a 2-mana 2/1 flyer. Or some counters. Actually, the 2-drops are pretty bad. Like, I guess you've got the Boggarts in black, but I think I'm going to stick with Teamer. So let's just do this and see what we've got here now. These colours. Guess I might have to just run like a Brambleback Brute. So yeah, I think I'm probably going to have to start adding in some green. So maybe a Shimmerwild's Growth. Even a Surly Farer probably is going to have to be added in. And maybe, again, just a 2-drop. And like a counter. And I don't think I'm going to run something like the Dream Harvest. What else would I be running? I could already have something in the 4-drop slot. So what's the creature count? 16. So maybe like a reckless ransacking, as I don't really have any other removal. So I might need to have a combat trick, which can also be a way of fixing, or I might just want a giant 3-drop, which can eventually be a 4/5. I don't want to spend too long on this because, again, there's no stakes. I just want to kind of make something, though I suppose I want to still make a deck as if this was a paid event, as if I was kind of going to be doing this generally. So I might just want like a runaway together. Like you can bounce a Rhyme Clean Recluse, or way to protect. So that's... So creatures... Oh, they've actually flipped it back so that they're not on the bottom. So Soul Immolation, again, some removal, Tweeze, Burning Curiosity for some draw, and that's probably it, I suppose. Again, the Surly Farrier is a little bit of a strange one then too, but I don't really have anything else. I don't think I would want a Gravegill Scoundrel. Yeah, that draft was the sealed pool is pretty strange, but I guess that's the risk, I suppose, with draft, is that you're never really going to have too much of a cohesive deck when it comes to creature matters sets like Lorwyn. So this might be as good as it's going to get. Again, we've got the... Actually, maybe I can get away with even like 16 lands because I'm running 3 land cyclers because I kind of need to. So I might not actually need any more forests. And then what would I add instead? Maybe I could just run the Mirror Form again as like a random fun card. Like maybe we can get a whole bunch of Stratosaurs or Rhymekin Recluses, but bouncing the whole board. Or again, a full board of Pummelers that we can attack into, though. Copying everything as a Marrow Sky Swim is also pretty good, though. I guess they already become 2/2s, so probably not so great. I might just run a Brambleback Brute, again as another kind of 3-drop. Yeah, I'm not going to think too much. What was my elemental count again? 10. So actually maybe I should run the Harmonized Crescendo instead of the Brute. Though when I did play this with Merfolk, it was still a struggle to really kind of get 3 or 4 creatures. But because I don't have the other draw spell, I guess it's probably better than nothing. So yeah, maybe if I just run that and just hope that I've got at least 3 creatures. Like 3 creatures minimum. 4 creatures is probably where you want to be. And anything above that's probably what you're aiming for. But anyway, let's just run it like this and go into our first game. Okay, here we are with our first game and our Temur Elementals sealed deck. And I am first. And I guess this is an okay. Foraging Wickamore can probably, hopefully, find another land. At least a blue. But then if it sticks around, at least they've got some fixing. So 1, 2... Kithkin. Okay, so I'm looking for my third land. And we'll keep that on top. So it's just a 1-2. Okay, and I guess I'll just get a 4-2 down, which is a good way to get in with their 1-2 currently. So looking at a blue-white deck. So obviously, I was about to say we're going to be merfolk, so this is obviously just a filler, and they missed. Okay. So, do I want to trade my 4-2 for the 2-3? Probably not. I think I'm just going to get another red, as I've got Soul Immolation. Nope, I do not want to attack. So I might need to cycle this Stratosaur. Though if I do draw a land, I can give the Stompling flying. And I might need to tweeze, possibly, but again I might want to also cycle the Stratosaur just to get a land, to get a second blue source. Ah, the opponent is also on 3 colours. So this is the looks at the top 4. So in the last top 4 there was not a land, there was no islands or plains or merfolks. So maybe they're not merfolks. And so maybe they're just splashing this as some filler into a Merrow Sky Swim. Okay. So they're going wide on me. Okay, so there's a land, so I don't need to cycle the Sora. Okay, so if I did Soul Immolation on 3, that would, so an additional cost Blight, but can't be greater. So I can only do is X's 2, so that would basically kill everything. But their Merrow, Eclipsed Merrow, maybe that's worth it. Because I kind of have a feeling that they probably won't. But then if I get the Stratosaur down now, I can then maybe kill their Merrow as well. But I still think it's probably best just to board wipe. I think I'm going to risk an extra turn for the Soul Immolation and give this flying and see if they want to trade their 2-2 for my 4-2. They do. Okay, well, gets in for 2 anyway. So they flip, and this flips into add X green or white. X is the number of other creatures you control at the beginning. So they've got 1, 2, 4 mana. Okay, sure. Into a 3/5, and it's a 5/5. Yep. Okay. That's quite the board presence. So 1, 2, 3. That gives us no. So I guess I'm going to have to do X's 4 anyway. Can't be greater. So I can do X's 5 though, can't I? So it's just not greater. Can we? Greater than the greatest toughness. Yeah, so that should kill their board then. There we go. Nice and clean. And I said nice as well. Into a 3-3 with Surveil. Okay, so I'm probably just going to get rid of this Shimmer Wilds. And just play a Sentinel. And it should be, well, I guess I've got a 1-1. So that was all of my removal though, so let's say forced chump. Then to 1. And I guess technically if I cast the Twin Flames next turn, the trigger on the Flame Caster is also lethal. Good game up here. Yeah, the Soul Immolation was pretty back-breaking there for the opponent, and glad I took the risk holding onto it. Okay, so this is a little bit different with the normal event structure. So instead of obviously getting gems and packets, you just obviously get a card on the win. So let's see what we get on our selection. We've got ourselves a Sarima, or how you pronounce this, the Sarima. But anyway, let's go on to game number 2. Okay, we're for our second game, and the opponent goes first. Okay, this is a fine hand. I've got a kind of a nice curve 2/3 drop. We probably need to find our blue source before we can get the Flame Caster down, I would say. It would be interesting to see what we are up against. Again, I might not even play the Prodigy. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to play the Prodigy on turn 2, so I'll just Shimmer Wild's Growth and name blue. And then I guess Changeling might want to grab another blue. Okay, though I'm getting getting curved out. So I might just want to get the Flame Caster down and then tap land on the Steam Vents. Though they can turn the Reluctant Dawn Guard into a 4/4. I'm happy to trade, I think, the Dawn Guard. Okay, they've just gone and done that instead, yeah. So I think I'm just gonna, obviously, I'll take 5 now, of course, yeah. Take 5. Okay. So I've only got 3 damage. So I could Wayfinder, play the island. So I get an island. Play an island and pass, I think. Or I could attack, see if they block, and then finish off. Otherwise I'm taking 8. Three, 1, I don't care about that. Have they got a, is it the Dandulin maybe, if they're looking at their graveyard? They didn't have any creatures in the graveyard at the moment. Well, taking 9 down to 4, but it's not looking great. Into a Korath Zealot. Which I guess I'm just going to have to get down anyway. To land, well, glad that's off the top of the deck now. They got a fight spell by the looks of things, a set perfection, yeah. Well, I have to chump, unfortunately, and it doesn't look like it's going to be getting any better for me from here, so just because there's no way I can board wipe now. So yeah, just drew a land, so GG's opponent, yeah, they had too much of a good curve on me than what I had, so yeah, it doesn't look like I was going to be beating that anytime soon. Okay, I am first. Well, no green, but I think I kind of have to keep. I have some removal. I think being on the play, I will keep. Being on the draw, I probably might have actually also kept. I think, yeah, I think having a 3-drop. I think sealed is generally a little bit slower, though. Obviously, the last match. You wouldn't have guessed that, but I think this is still a keep based on like removal, and again maybe I'll draw a green source. I'll get lucky and draw a green source next turn, but I do only have 3 green sources. I guess if I draw a land cycler, I can go grab one, but I think it's literally the only 2 green cards I've got in the whole deck, so it's a little bit unlucky to have drawn both of them in my opening hand. So it looks like the opponent took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they took 2 mulligans. And I would be shocked if they didn't keep a land hand. There we go. So yeah, unfortunately no green, but again I still think it's fine to keep. The opponent looks like for some reason they're in full control. I don't know why. So next turn, I guess Enraged Flamecaster. And I probably just discard one of these islands with Tweeze on the following turn after. Again, just try and find a green source, because even if I'm discarding that land, I find a green source. Take like the Shimmerwild's growth's gonna bring me back up to essentially that still having that same land. So green, blue, forest druid. Okay. Well, Tweeze doesn't get rid of that, and I might just want to then just tempo them out now. So Bloom Tenor, so that's the one I'm obviously going to be killing. And discarding probably the Ferrier, I reckon now. Well, let's attack first, see if they want to do anything. That's unlikely. So yeah, we're going to discard this Farrier. And a Stratosaur. So now I can get, I guess, the green source. Cavalry. Yeah, I think I'm going to grab a green. And I'll be locked by more than one creature. Okay, I guess I can still put it on here, name. Or does it... I guess I could still name blue to hold up unraveling. Actually, it's going to go actually on... So, okay, so now I've got to put it on the wrong land. So I might just name a different colour for the sake of vivid. So just name white. Yeah, I should have put it on the island, named blue and then held up unraveling, but taking 4 here is just fine, it's okay. I can maybe like run away my recluse, and I guess they're maybe going to cast the forest druid now. Noggle robber. Well, that's what I probably don't want to bounce. Wickermore. Well, let's play our Wickermore. Looking for some more action. Yeah, get rid of that. Don't need that. I think I'm just going to hold up unraveling and run away together. Might want to run away together against my recluse again to maybe just tempo them out a little bit. Okay, I should have probably done it before blocks, but that's fine. Surprised I didn't attack with the Noggle Robber. Like, it's done its job, but you would want to probably just trade it away, wouldn't you, I think? And another land. But the hand is pretty weak, honestly. Need to find some of my bigger elementals. 4, 5, 6. If that's all they're literally just paying. So yeah, if that's all they're casting, then I'm just going to counter that, and that means they haven't got anything else in their hand. Because it doesn't feel like bait, like if that's literally all that they've got. And still not attacking with it, okay. Well, I guess I'll just dump my hand with the Sentinel and the Flamecaster now. Now I'm just living off the top of my deck, so actually the draw, that's what I kind of needed, something like that for thirst. I need my draw spells. So they discard 2 lands. Did they discard a red source? They did. And a Stoic Grove Guide, sure. Steam Vents. Well, that's not exactly what I was wanting to draw. Pummeler, yep. So I wanted my Pummeler. If they attack, I probably will just get rid of this Summit Sentinel because it's not doing anything. Okay, do I want to... think I might just get rid of these. I'm trying to think if I've got a way to bounce my recluse now. I don't think I do. So I probably want to keep the flame caster around. And they've got a 3-drop, which says Tend the Sprigs. And they'll also get a 3/3, 3/4 even. Yep, that's probably gonna be, unfortunately. Really needed something there. Like even my board wipe just doesn't do anything now. Stratosaur, again that doesn't really do much, but I don't think I'm cycling it. Twin Flame Travelers. It doesn't matter because I'm probably not going to. Though I actually did miss another point of damage, didn't I? So I messed up with doing it the wrong way round. So they would be on 11, but I don't think that's. I don't think it's going to make much difference here because their 6/5 and 5/4 is just pretty good against my board, I think. So obviously, it looks like they've got another person who's got a Assert Perfection. Yep. And again, if I double block, they get rid of both of my creatures. So I think I have to keep my Stratosaur alive, or that's fine. I think I have to keep that alive because I need the board wipe. So 7, that's 12. So if I take 12, then I think I need to block now because otherwise I'm going to die next turn if I don't. So I think it's basically soul immolation or nothing from here on out. That literally does nothing. So block, take 3. Yeah, I'm just dead. So it would leave me with what? 1, 2, 3 mana. So I guess I'm still naming elemental for 1. Okay, can I survive next turn? No, so yeah, I can't survive, so just 1 draw step too late, unfortunately. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, I just ran out of gas right at the end there, just kind of flooded out a little bit. But anyway, let's head on into the next one. Okay, here we are for our 4th game. Hopefully we can get at least another win going on before I get bored, tired, and have to go back to the deck building phase again. Okay, so I'm first again, though that doesn't seem to have helped me so far, as I've only got 1 of 3 so far. Okay, well, there's a green, which is thankful. Again, do I name another colour for Vivid? Or do I just name red? Because I do have some double red. I think I'm going to name another colour because of the elemental that cares for Vivid. So they might have a 4 toughness or something like that. Dawn Blessed Penance Elf. Yep. Well, we've drawn nothing but lands, so hopefully we can get something else. Wickamore, that's a pretty good one. Guess I will Wickamore first. See what you can do. Well, glad to get rid of that off the top. They could have the 2/2 flash. I'm okay at trading, that's fine. Could technically bounce. Oh, okay, they've got a 4/2 flash. You know what? I'm going to bounce my Wickamore and this. I can get like a Surveyor next turn. Again. Eulogist. A milled elf. Yep, Elf Scout. Do I want to trade a 3/2 for a 3/3? Sure, I'll trade now, that's fine. Soulbright Seeker doesn't really do anything here. Though it does trade with their 4/2, that's probably better than trading away my other ones, so I guess I'll keep it. Sure, I'll take 3. This is 2 to activate. Now, they've got an Assert Perfection. Nice. Well, now I wish I'd kind of gotten rid of this card. Yep. Everyone's loving their Assert Perfection. And a Bristlebane Battler. This is Ward 2, sure. Now it looks like I've got a combat trick. Maybe I need to actually bring in mine. Again, as I said before, my worry was hexproof, indestructible. Yeah, honestly, I don't think I'm going to be able to beat this. I might just scoop this one up, and I think it is maybe going back to the deck building phase. And again, looking at some combat tricks, possibly. Again, maybe taking out that green that I don't really need. Maybe I'll keep the Pummeler as a nice finisher. But yeah, this draft is pool is pretty bad. So where was the combat trick? Reckless Ransacking, again maybe just adding in the Brute and take out the, just have one Forest for the Pummeler. Though I don't really need green, but I guess green works better than black. Yeah, let's just run that instead of Assert Perfection. Yeah, a little bit of a tough pool, I think, what we got, but that is the variance of sealed sometimes. So yeah, not doing too good. So if this was a real paid event, I would have been knocked out. So I used to like sealed quite a bit, but I prefer draft now, and I am first with a pretty bad hand. So mulligan. Guess I'll just get rid of the ransacking. With this hand, though, Brute We'll need to have its counters removed probably before I get to do soul immolation. So I probably want maybe the brute down before the stompling. Tweeze, okay, Tweeze is a nice pickup. Okay, green, black. Might want to just tweeze this unraveling, I think. Abzan. So counters and elves maybe? Or a bit of Kithkin splashed in for extra. Or there could be Kithkin splashing black for some removal. So the Blight Rot only puts 2 counters on, so that wouldn't kill it. Tristan, sure. 4 toughness here is pretty good. Again, I think I'm probably just going to try and get the brute up. I should have played the land. Well, no, it would have made a difference because I don't have double blue, never mind. So yeah, I might be getting rid of this unraveling because it's double blue. So yeah, I want to get rid of the counters as quickly as possible so that I can do this soul immolation because it might be pretty good against elves. Or whatever they're trying to do. Okay, so they are also doing some other green stuff as well. So heavily green. So they might not have actually too many elves. Because they didn't flip. So they didn't want to return something. Champion, well, they do have elves, okay. Well, there's 6/6s. Yeah. It is champion 4 mana 6/6. But why is it not holding up double bloody auto tapper? Well, I might as well get in now for 4. But yeah, should have held up double blue auto tapper, got me good there. Then they got another assert perfection. If they do, then they're probably dead because their soul immolation is just not going to then be able to board. Okay, they've got a 5/6 instead now. So yeah, I don't think I'm winning this one either now. I think I'm just going to have to look at some different colours because I'm just getting overrun by big creatures. I'm not being able to get there quick enough. I could attack with the Stompling, but I think I'm just on the defense now, unfortunately. So try and get like a block and then Tweeze to finish something off. But these 2 big creatures are... Yeah, I just have literally 0 answers for these big creatures, other than like an unraveling. So I might need to add in like black to, I don't know, a way to like maybe shrink a creature. Feastling, again, I don't really care for. And a dagger, again, I don't really care for either. Okay. So I block the perfect. With the Stompling, then Tweeze, discarding, unraveling, changeling, down to 3. Pummeler. Annoyingly, for me to board wipe, so block, see, I'm actually dead anyway. I'm like one land short maybe. So play, block, take, yeah, so I'm not winning that, unfortunately. Just wasn't quite there. Okay, so maybe I just need to look at some other colours, because this is clearly not working against what I'm playing against. But my colours just feel so bad, like how many elves did I have? Okay, maybe we could do something with elves. If they entered or were cast from the graveyard, which is just never going to trigger, create a token, then again Tristan isn't really going to trigger off shapeshifters. So if I go to shapeshifter, changeling gives me some removal, and rooftop percher. So it would be black, green with some white maybe. Maybe we need to do that instead. So let's have a look at our green, black, and some white. So like Pyrrhic Strike, Liminal Hold, and Anti-Sentence could be some remove, like cheap creature removal. Nameless Inversion, a 2-drop, a couple of Blight Rots, Extractor, not great. 3 mana 3/3 might be okay with some additional Surveil. Dawn of the Dawn might be okay. There's a way to get something back. And then Assert Perfection I might need for some removal. And 3 mana 3/3. It might be something, the Tristan. That's good, specific. Okay, the Weary Farm is probably fine, and the Moorcant Loyalist. Changeling, Wickermore, and suggested lands. Might want to just run a Gangling as a elf as well. Maybe the Dream Harvest as a big top end thing. Then I might need to add in some white for some draw. And then maybe Winnowing again as some removal. I guess if they're if they're tribal, then it's not great. So it only really works when people are using a mixture, isn't it? So for each player, so me and them, you choose a creature type. So I guess me would be elf, and then each player sacrifices all other creatures they control that don't share a creature type. So you'd hope to be against a non-elf player, but again I might not have any other option to not play. So I'm actually missing a couple of creatures, so the Winnowing might not be too good. Like I've got Blight Rot, Anti-Sentence, so I might not need the Winnowing. And I've got Liminal Hold and Pyrrhic Strike. So yeah, my top end is really bad. Like in both of my decks, in both, well, every colour I've got, there's just no top end. I might need a Spry and Mighty for like the Pummeler. Yeah, this This pool is so bad. So I probably just need to run of these things as well. Again, as a way to, well, just some four drops, aren't they, really? So I might want the Moon Glove Extractors to keep the curve lower. Gosh. Yeah, this pool is horrendous. I might want to just add in some flyers. Or a Marrow Swimmer. Again, just as, I don't know, an evasive creature that can fly. Guess I'll add in the Farrier in now. And I guess a River Guard's Reflexes, or just add in the Dawn Guard. Like, my curve is so low that I could probably get away with 16 lands, and I might need the Winnowing. And take out a green, so a forest. Well, don't think it's going to get much better, so I might, yeah, if this build doesn't do so well, then I'll just have to go back to the blue-red elementals and just try and push through. But yeah, I'll give this one a go now, but I kind of feel like this one's a little bit worse. Maybe the additional removal might help, but all in all, I think my pull was pretty bad. Well, I took out a forest, and I probably should have taken out a swamp. Yeah, I think this is a mulligan. Okay, there's all my colours at least. And I get rid of the Dream Harvest here. So I got a Wickamore on turn 2. Green, blue. So just looking for some more action now. Yeah, removal's fine. Guess I can maybe Diviner again as for some surveil. Auntie's sentence and a 4/2. I think that's fine, because if I Tristan, I can mill the Gangly and then drain them. Maybe the Auntie's sentence, I can grab something from their hand. Okay, so black. Twilight Diviner. Well, I'm going to see what's in their hand, I think, because I feel like they've got something big coming. The ban. Well, I'll just take the Glister ban. That's probably the reason why they named the colour that they did black, so yeah. And again, the Eulogist doesn't really do much here either. Well, missing lands is not great, but at least I can cast everything. Well, there's a creature that I'm sure that they're going to bring back. Safe Right Cavalry. It's my own Eulogist. This is instant, yeah. Another Blight Rot. Sure. Okay, well, maybe the opponent has ran out of gas, so we shall have to see. So I get my Tristan online. And Liminal Wayfarer, Weary Farmer, so I can, I guess, get back my 3/3 for the sake of it. Sorry, exile it. Sure. Got like a flash by the looks of it. Making a 2/2 elf. I'm okay with that. So this one is, if you do, so you might as well flip an exile because I'm not getting it. Don't have. I do have graveyard recursion, no, but I guess it doesn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I name. So I don't pay because then I can make this. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pay, so it doesn't reduce it enough. Lands. Sure. Okay, another safe right cavalry. Is this common? It is common. Cert Perfection. Well, I guess I should give this one +4 so then it can attack into the druid. Oh, it's gonna. I am not very good. I forgot that it can pump. Well, now it's a 2-for-1, so I guess I'll just have to wait. I am not very good. Though, I guess, can they attack? They can't attack. Land. Well, all in all, I probably shouldn't have won that. Yeah, fumbled and misplayed. I think the previous matches has kind of skewed my ability a little bit, kind of dampened my spirits, thinking that my first initial build was good enough, but obviously it wasn't. But maybe this new colour Abzan is probably better. Just surprising actually how many assert perfections I've played against for my previous matches. So I guess green seems to be quite popular amongst their deck builders. Right, let's go on to our probably and hopefully last game as sealed. Not quite my favourite. I prefer the draft for sure. Anyway, so what have we got? We've got some removal and some creatures on turn 3. So either white or green is fine. I guess even a black source is probably fine for the gangly, so I think it's worth a keep, especially with the 2-drop removal. So I guess I would like a green source for the wary farmer before the gangly stompling, but again I'm not going to beg as long as I just get at least a third land. Tender bloom, well that's gonna have to die. Whoops, wrong one. Come on, land. I just need just one land. Just any land, please. Crossroads Watcher. Okay, that's a land. Okay, so in this instance, I guess I'll play the Tristan because it blocks the Watcher. Burdened Stoneback, are they going to remove a counter immediately? It's not instant speed, so I'll happily just trade that away. So sorcery only, unfortunately. Well, I guess I'll get myself the white land, the plains, play the plains. And then I guess wary farmer just to try and set up, though might want a gangly stompling to trade away. Yep, take 3. Though I could gain some life. I think I'm just gonna rooftop percher just to use my mana efficiently. I'm gonna gain some life back. Celebrant. Well, I guess that's a good liminal hold target. And I think I'm going to stay on defense as their board presence is larger than mine. Though I might end up taking like a hit for 3 if they, or even 6 if they activate the stone back a couple of times. Though they are in white-green, so they could actually have something for the liminal hold. Exactly like that, lovely. And they got a 2-for-1 from it as well. It's a bit unfortunate. And I'm happy to take 4. I don't know why they didn't take a counter off the stoneback. Okay, probably should get this down to surveil and try and hit some land. Dream Harvest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I'll keep that. Oh, of course, whoops, it's getting milled anyway, never mind. I think it was still better to mill out. Well, I guess I'm dead. Yeah. Well, they probably should have actually just attacked with the Celebrant, I think. So that gives it +4/+4. Fairer. Farrier, sorry, I keep mispronouncing it. I realize if they hit some lands, they've only drawn 6 and they're done, haven't they? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Liminal hold. Well, I seem to be drawing hot for sure. But yeah, this kin binding is going to kill me, I think, unfortunately. So the attack with that, I don't really understand, but do this, take 9, go down to 4, gain 2 to 6. That leaves me with 3. Pyrrhic Strike. I probably need to do both the binding and the celebrant, so if I can survive one more turn I might be okay. I might just chump with a 2-2. Oh, that was a strange attack. Do I even need to block them with that? I guess I'm going to blight onto the farmer. So it's probably fine. I probably want to do this now. Light, artifact, charm, and creature. So yeah, I definitely need to kill that. Actually, maybe I should blight onto the farrier. Give this. Do it like this, maybe. Just so I can get in for 4. I think the farm is probably more important than the farrier. Lovely. Okay, return target creature card from your graveyard. Then if it isn't blight, so I can get back the Tristan or the Percher might be okay. If they entered or were cast from one or more other creatures, yeah. Guess getting the Tristan is probably better. Though actually I probably don't need to, so that's just Eulogist. Maybe I'll mill something instead. Morcant's Loyalist. And don't want to draw that for sure, even though I guess it's a free surveil, but I think an unknown is probably better than that. I guess it probably wouldn't have been better than land. Well, let's just attack for 6. Then I don't care if they've got a combat trick. And I guess I can get the Morcant. I don't think I would have missed a point of damage because they probably would have chumped with the... Yeah, well, I also flooded out there unfortunately at the end, but I guess the opponent flooded out more than me, though I did kind of churn through my deck a bit quicker. Well, I guess the Abzan deck probably would have been better in hindsight, as I would have, say, if this was a real sealed event, then I would have lost after, well, I had one win, 3 losses. So glad this was only just a midweek Magic Phantom draft, but I guess got there in the end. Didn't get to do as fun of things as I guess I would like to have done, but it just didn't really kind of pan out in terms of the cards that were available that worked with the other cards that I wanted to play. But anyway, that was the hodgepodge Abzan deck. Anyway, thank you again for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.